Hey there, if you're scrolling through a dozen espresso machines and wondering whether any of them are actually going to serve you well at home, I get it. You've probably already asked yourself, do I really need all these fancy features, or am I just paying for hype? The last thing you want is to drop a few $100s on a machine that looks gorgeous on the countertop but turns out to be a daily hassle. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'll walk you through the Diletta Bello Plus, a hand-assembled espresso rig from Milan that promises precise temperature control, a built-in shot timer, and a low-power eco mode. I'll break down who will actually benefit from those claims and who might be better off looking elsewhere. First, let's talk about the everyday kitchen scenario most of us live in. You've got a limited amount of counter space, a morning rush, and a desire for a cafe-quality shot without having to stand over a noisy machine for 10 minutes. The Bello Plus makes a point of offering manual brew and steam controls, which on paper sounds like a dream for the hands-on barista, but it also means there's no one-touch auto program that will brew a perfect shot while you're still in bed. That's a trade-off you need to acknowledge right away. If you love the ritual of measuring, tamping, and watching the tiny pressure gauge dance, then the manual approach is a plus. If you prefer the convenience of a button press espresso, the Diletta may feel a bit old school. Now, the standout feature here is the PID Temperature Control. In plain English, the PID lets you set and read the boiler temperature with a digital readout, and it reacts quickly if the water drifts out of the target range. In practice, that means you can dial in 93°C for a bright single origin or bump up to 96°C for a darker roast, and trust that the machine will hold steady. For the home grinder enthusiast who likes to experiment with different beans, that consistency can shave seconds off the learning curve. I've seen similar PID rigs where the temperature swings a few degrees every pull, enough to make the taste fluctuate wildly, so having a tight loop is a real benefit. Equally useful is the shot timer that lives on the same screen. When you pull a shot, the timer starts counting, giving you instant feedback on extraction time. Most coffee lovers will recognize that a 25-second shot for a 30 milliliters pour is the sweet spot. The timer helps you see when you're under-extracting, too fast, or over-extracting, too slow. It's not a replacement for developing an intuition, but it's a solid scaffolding tool for beginners who want to step up from the just press a button mindset. The low-power eco mode is another claim that sounds good on paper. Basically, the machine can lower the boiler temperature when you're not actively pulling a shot, reducing idle energy consumption. In real life, this translates to a modest reduction in your electricity bill and a slightly quieter startup time because the boiler isn't heating from absolute zero. If you're the type who keeps the espresso machine on all day just in case, you'll appreciate that the eco mode prevents the boiler from constantly cycling at full power. However, the trade-off is that the machine takes a bit longer to reach brewing temperature after you've engaged eco mode, so you'll need to factor an extra 3,045 seconds into your morning routine if you're habitually just in case using the machine. What about the stainless steel case, frame, and boiler? The description emphasizes durability, and the fact that it's all stainless does indeed give the Bello Plus a weight and feel that feels premium. In a kitchen where spills and occasional knocks are inevitable, that metal shell should hold up for years. There's no delicate plastic housing that cracks under stress, and the stainless boiler means you won't have that metallic aftertaste that sometimes sneaks in when cheaper aluminum boilers overheat. Now, who should buy the Diletta Bello Plus? If you're a coffee enthusiast who already owns a decent grinder, likes to experiment with dose, grind size, and temperature, and values the tactile control of a manual espresso machine, this unit fits nicely. It especially shines for people who enjoy the ritual of pulling a shot, watching the PID readout, and timing the extraction. The machine's hand-built origin in Milan also appeals to buyers who care about design provenance and want a piece that looks as good on the counter as it tastes in the cup. On the flip side, if you're primarily looking for a plug-and-play experience, press a button, walk away, and return to a ready-made espresso, you'll probably find the manual controls a bit intimidating. The absence of programmable automatic programs means you have to manage Preinfusion and brew pressure yourself. Additionally, the machine doesn't come with an integrated grinder, so you'll need to budget for a separate burr grinder if you don't already have one. That initial outlay can push the overall cost well beyond the sticker price.